G'day guys and welcome to another one of my Digimon ReArise videos. So it's finally been revealed that the next banner coming to the global side is the Beelzemon X antibody banner. In this video we'll have a quick review of Beelzemon X and his banner, and you can decide if it's worth summoning or not. The reason I have ReArise Anniversary here is because these were the two featured Digimon when this banner dropped on the JP side. Of course, Global can mix things up, but this is what we had last time. So if you don't have ReArise Anniversary or Rasani, definitely a chance to pick him up again. And these two kind of do pretty similar things as well, and they work pretty well together too. So, Beelzemon X Antibody. He is a purple tech type Digimon. He has really high HP, pretty good tech, good defense, and average speed. Overall, his stats are quite good. His main skill does 1200% to random enemies 2 times, 2 enemies at a time. So it's kind of like a dulled down version of ReArise Anniversary in terms of how many targets it hits. It also ignores block and has a 50% chance to apply darkness, which is really good. It's a status effect that doesn't have much protection in the meta at the moment. 1200% is good, and remember that hits twice, or it has a chance to hit the same Digimon twice. That's what, like a 2400 multiplier. No crit multiplier, ignore block means you're pretty much guaranteed to hit hard with this skill. Like, it's going to be a hard hitting skill, and the blindness is just kind of the darkness, sorry, is just kind of the cherry on top. His sub skill does fixed damage to 4 enemies, 4 times to 4 enemies. So that is very similar to ReArise Anniversary. It will always hit, if at skill level 10, 900 damage 4 times to 4 enemies. It also has a 1-turn debuff, and that applies per hit. So if you hit the same target 4 times, it will be a 4-turn debuff. And it gives himself 1 stack of evasion. Not too bad. The fixed damage is meh. Like 900 isn't fantastic. I guess it's good for cleaning up. Because it'll hit enemies multiple times. But other than that, it's not going to be doing gigantic damage. The turn debuff is actually quite good. You can really debuff the enemy team there. Stack of evasions, a cherry on top. Not too bad. The fixed damage really holds this skill back, I think, in my personal opinion anyway. And finally, his passive skill, of course, he has the X antibody, making him good in the Underworld dungeon. He has a selfish immobilization passive, so no shock, paralysis, freeze, stun, or sleep for this guy for 6 turns. He also gives 60% to all allies tech. That includes himself right from the start of the battle for 7 turns. And he gives himself 1 stack of evasion. His plugins give him crit and tech, which is really good. Defense and HP. And he has an ancient plugin which you can get from the Underworld dungeon drop, which gives him 1.5 damage to blue enemies and targets them easier for the cost of only 50 health, which is not a massive deal. Overall, like, interesting kit. He's got a bit of everything. He's got the defense from the stacks of evasion. He can reapply those 1 stack of evasion every time to use his sub skill. He's got the utility with the buff shortener, a little bit of status on his main skill. And he's got damage from his passive, which is the tech buff, and his main skill, which is a multi-target. Like a pretty high multiplier on that. And ignores block as well. So a little bit of everything. I wouldn't say he excels in anything, but he also doesn't fall short. He's kind of a jack of all trades Digimon. I like him. I think he's cool. I slept on him on the JP side, and he's still very popular in PvP on the JP side. So my final thoughts, and then we'll have a quick chat about should you summon or not, but my final thoughts on Beelzemon X Antibody. Let's start with Clash Battle. I'm going to give him A+ tier. He's not in S tier because of this sub skill. It holds him back that 900 fixed damage, even though it's hitting 4 times. That's like 3600 damage. That is so low in Clash Battle, compared to his main skill, which will be hitting bonkers ridiculous numbers. When you got Digimon that are hitting 1,000,000 damage with 1 skill, this really holds him back, in my opinion anyway. So I'm going to give him A+ tier in Clash Battle. Also to note, his friendship skill is really good because you can get those 2 hits off with that massive multiplier. It's really, really good. In the Underworld dungeon, I'm going to give him S tier. X antibody is always good. Even though it has fixed damage on his sub skill, it hits multiple times, which will be very useful. Evasion, hard hitting main skill. Pair him up somehow with some cooldown. The main cooldown guy would be Bancho Leomon, who isn't out on global yet, but when he comes, definitely really good in the Underworld dungeon. And PvP. Now this is kind of a tricky one. I'm going to give him... I'm going to say... Oh, it's really hard. I'm going to say S minus. S minus. He's not full S tier, but he's a bit better than A tier. This main skill hits super hard. You can one-shot if they don't have any protections up. This is okay. The fixed damage is annoying, but the debuff is good. The blindness is good. Like, overall, solid. I think S minus or borderline. Like, borderline A plus, S minus sort of area there for PvP. Finally, longevity. As I said before, this guy's still popping up a lot on the JP side in PvP. So I'm going to give him... I'm going to give him, again... Oh, I'm going to go A plus tier for longevity. He's still useful in PvP. He still hits hard in Clash Battle if you're running a tech-based team. A plus, borderline S again. He's kind of on the line between S and A. So A plus or S minus, that sort of area. You will get a long use if you do summon this guy. The banner itself, if you have ReArise Anniversary, they kind of do the same thing. Like, ReArise Anniversary is probably a little bit better defensively, replacing evasion from the Beelzemon X with, like, block rate. The multi-hit skill on his main skill is pretty comparable, I would say. Beelzemon X probably hits a little bit harder, and you don't have to worry so much about crit immunity. Sub skills probably similar par as well. The stun on the ReArise Anniversary is good. The debuff's good on Beelzemon X. Passives are pretty comparable as well. Like, honestly, the only difference would be the stats. Beelzemon has, what, slightly higher tech and slightly higher JP. That's just natural power creep. If you have ReArise Anniversary, I don't think he's a must-have. There's no reason why you can't run both of these guys together, though, and have the best of both worlds and just absolutely, like, multi-hit AoE spam with something like Mirage Gyogomon burst mode support and just go hyper-offensive. I don't think he is a must-have, but he is good. If you have him, you will enjoy him. If you don't have him, you're not going to fall behind. With things like Bancho Lilymon, with things like Fanglongmon, the Ancients coming soon, definitely Skipper would also a possibility that he'll be good. Like, it's a 50-50, doesn't matter either way. I personally will go a little bit in for him, maybe 1,000, and then I'm tapping out because I know there's so much heat coming to Global really soon. Hey, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. Let me know, will you summon for Beelzemon X Antibody? If the banner looks like this, will you summon or will you give it a miss? I'm definitely interested to hear that. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!